Steph Curry still just ruins NBA defenses. Ruins them. Jalen Wells is trying to top block him here, preventing him from getting a perimeter touch. So much of Steph Curry's scoring comes from off-ball movement. Look at him right here, get him leaning towards the perimeter. So I'm faking like I'm coming out to the perimeter. Then once I've got him leaning right there, bang, I'm going to bump off him and then be able to beat him backdoor. Fake like I'm going to the perimeter, bump off him, backdoor layup. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can break down what all-time greatness looks like. And Zach Edey right here has no chance. If he comes up towards the screen as he's coming uphill, Steph Curry's just going to split right through and get to the rim. So you pretty much have to stay back and drop coverage. And when you run drop coverage on Steph Curry, well, just never stops moving away from the ball. Ever. Dribble into the paint right here, draw two defenders. Soon as he makes this pass out, though, there's no walking, there's no meandering. The second Santi Aldama takes one look at that pass going out to Draymond Green, Steph Curry's just immediately sprinting and relocating. You take your eye off Steph Curry for a second, like Aldama just did right there, whoops, back to the wing, that's three more. Steph Curry is going to ruin Zach Edey every which way. This is now him guarding one-on-one. Desmond Bane's coming over to help right here. So all Steph Curry's got to do is relax, dribble the ball out, wait for Gui Santos to cut through so that second defender, Desmond Bane, leaves. The second that happens and I have Zach Edey on an island, bang, it's easy. Just dribble into the paint, one dribble, get him leaning towards the paint, only to get back to that patented step-back triple. It takes almost nothing for Steph Curry to get into that step-back three. You're going to see back-to-back ball screens across half court. Once Scottie Pippen Jr.'s on Steph Curry's back off these two screens, it's over. Because now Scottie Pippen Jr.'s got to sprint to get back in the play and square him up one-on-one. So as you're scrambling to get back underneath the ball, again, Steph Curry's got you. You're now leaning towards the paint. Steph Curry's got the step back now. There's just nobody better away from the ball than Steph Curry, creating space for himself before any screen even takes place. Jalen Wells right here staring at the ball. So I'm going to fake like I'm going backdoor, get you leaning backdoor, and then again, once he's got you leaning, bang. All I got to do is bump off you right there. Look at that space he just created. Before any ball screen takes place, he's already created 3 steps of space for himself. So now I just come off this, again, open. And then off ball screens. If you make the slightest mistake, it's 3. The Grizzlies are coming out to hedge, but Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to go under the screen. You cannot get caught going under screens with Steph Curry, because what's Kevon Looney going to do? He's going to now set a second ball screen on Scottie Pippen Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. is not attached. He's not ready to switch, and this is Steph Curry range. That's a logo 3, but nobody's out guarding him. That's a pull-up. That's 9 steps from the three-point line. If you make the slightest mistake, and this possession just started, Steph Curry just got this defensive rebound. Scottie Pippen Jr., you have to get back and guard. Instead, Scottie Pippen Jr. takes one swipe, one gamble at the ball. The second Steph Curry gets the rebound, he's out of the play. Because Steph Curry's got it, he's gone. Look at Scottie Pippen Jr. gambling. So you're behind the play. Like, this is over. Now Steph Curry's just going to keep you on his back, keep you in jail right here. And then now it's just dribble right into the paint. Zach Edey has no chance no matter what he does, and that's an open jumper now. In transition now, off a steal. Again, off-ball movement. Steph Curry doesn't need to look at the ball. Doesn't need to see anything. Just sprint to the corner. Get to the corner. And Jalen Wells getting back. You've got to sprint to the corner with him. Look at Jalen Wells making the mistake. Look at him staring at the ball right here as opposed to just getting back to Steph Curry. And oh, by the way, Jalen Wells, you better just get back to Steph Curry. You make the slightest mistake. Look at Jalen Wells here. Gamble for the ball as opposed to just getting back. You gamble and don't get it, open 3. Now it's Ja Morant's turn. Your defense has to be perfect against Steph Curry. If you're Ja Morant, just get back with your back turned, ready to guard Steph Curry. Look at Ja Morant trying to gamble and get a steal here on Jimmy Butler. So now you're going to be flying back towards the three-point line off this gamble, and Steph Curry's now going to come right off it, and that's all the space he needs. The Grizzlies just have no answers. Again, Jalen Wells is top blocking Steph Curry. He doesn't want him coming off this screen this way. So what does Steph Curry do? Just be patient, wait for Draymond Green to get underneath, and then he's going to, that little bump right before the handoff. Look at this little bump right there. That creates a step of space. So now when I come off the handoff, you're just practice threes for Steph. This is just Steph Curry and Draymond Green's incredible chemistry on the floor. Steph Curry's now the screener here in this pick and roll with Jimmy Butler. So once Jimmy Butler turns the corner here off this hedge, Zach Edey has to step up and help. What does that mean? Now there's no defender guarding Draymond Green. So once they identify this Draymond Green, Steph Curry's just going to fly right off a handoff. Once he screens Jalen Wells, there's Zach Edey's in the paint. Another practice three. Steph Curry can get these threes off so easily, off a steal and transition. Scottie Pippen and Luke Kennard have to backpedal right here. Steph Curry knows the second he pulls up and stops his dribble, that's going to get Scottie Pippen Jr. flying into the air. So just an up fake, now it's open. Steph Curry is as good as any player in the league finishing at the rim. Santi Aldima's going to stay with Jimmy Butler right here. They're going to let Steph Curry get in the lane because Zach Edey's going to be standing and waiting right here. But it doesn't matter because look at Steph Curry get Zach Edey up in the air. One little up fake right there gets him leaving his feet. That gives him the room to now get to the rim, up and under for a layup. Never stops moving. So they run one ball screen right here. Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing up. The three's not available. But as Ja Morant's fighting over the top of this screen, look at once Steph Curry makes this pass, I'm still sprinting. I'm still moving. Look at this. Relocate. Go to the paint, then fly off a down screen. Ja Morant's 3 steps back because he was still trying to fight over that screen. So now Steph Curry's going to sprint off a Jimmy Butler down screen. Ja Morant is 4 steps behind him. He has no chance. Also goes up the gut. Create another practice three for yourself.